Yes, dear friends, seventh day of Navaratras, Mother Saraswati. Let us chant Medha Suktam, praying to the Mother to give us the Medha, preceded by Dharana, preceded by Shraddha Ekagrata. Means we should attend our classes with full Ekagrata. We should have the clear understanding and memory of what we have understood. Then we should have continuous remembrance of what we memorized about our goal as Paramatma and nothing else. Let Paramatma is the goal. This thought by Mother's grace become so strong that all other cravings in our heart for anything else are wiped off, washed away. By this deep, sincere want to have Bhagavan's Darshana Anubhuti. And for that, whatever the sadhanas have to be done, we have to be aware of them all the time and we should be able to do also. And for that, the grace of Mother we are seeking. Om, Om. The Medha Suktam, let us chant for that purpose. Om Atha चतुर्थ तैत्तिरीय आरण्यकान्तर्गत दशम प्रपाठकान्तर्गत एकचत्वारिंश चतुश्चत्वारिंश अनुवाकमध्यगत मेधासूक्तस्य पारायणं श्रीमातुः कृपया मेधा प्राप्त्यर्थं मेधया ज्ञानस्मरणद्वारा निरन्तरसाधनद्वारा साध्यरूप परमात्म अनुभव प्राप्त्यर्थम् ॐ अथ मेधा सूक्तम् ॐ यश्छन्दसां वृषभो विश्वरूपः छन्दोभ्योऽध्यमृतात् सम्बभूव समेन्द्रो मेधया स्पृणोतु अमृतस्य देवधारणो भूयासं शरीरं मे विचर्षणं जिह्वा मे मधुमत्तमा कर्णाभ्यां भूरिविश्रुवं ब्रह्मणः कोशोऽसि मेधया पिहितः श्रुतं मे गोपाय ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ मेधा देवी जुषमाणान आगाद्विश्वाची भद्रा सुमनस्य माना त्वया जुष्टानुदमाना दुरुक्तान् बृहद्वदेम विदथे सुवीराः त्वया जुष्टऋषिर्भवति देवि त्वया ब्रह्मा गतश्रीरुतत्वया त्वया जुष्टश्चित्रं विन्दते वसुसानो जुषस्वद्रविणो न मेधे मेधां म इन्द्रो ददातु मेधां देवी सरस्वती मेधां मे अश्विनावुभावा धत्तां पुष्करस्रजा अप्सरासु च या मेधा गन्धर्वेषु च यन्मनः दैवीं मेधा सरस्वती सा मां मेधा सुरभिर्जुषतागस्वाहा हामां मेधा सुरभिर्विश्वरूपा हिरण्यवर्णा जगती जगम्या ऊर्जस्वती पयसा पिन्वमाना सा मां मेधा सुप्रतीकाजुषन्ताम् मयि मेधा मयि प्रजां मयि अग्निस्तेजो दधातु मयि मेधा मयि प्रजां मयीन्द्र इन्द्रियं ददातु मयि मेधा मयि प्रजां मयि सूर्यो भ्राजो दधातु ॐ हंस हंसाय विद्महे परमहंसाय धीमहि तन्नो हंसः प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्तिः 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 नारायण ॐ Slowly, steadily, repeatedly, when we keep on exposing to the Shastra Dhyanam, step by step, all the things to be understood will be understood by us. More than all the, or along with the spiritual understandings of the truth, simultaneously we must also understand what sort of life we are living. Is it conducive to spiritual unfoldment? If not, then why in that life we are living? What are those inner and outer forces and compulsions which are compelling us to act contradictingly to our own intellectual understandings or convictions? This effort of understanding, this effort of doing the needful at that root level of all those inner forces which push us towards the worldliness, eliminating them becomes another very, very essential aspect of spirituality. But then, even that also one wills to do, one desires to do only when in him the desire for Paramatma is more than any other desire. Only then we will know that every other pursuit, desire is the obstruction for the single pursuit of Paramatma Prapti. Then only one goes into this effort of uprooting all other pursuits. Else, our life will be in an immature state of putting two steps towards spirituality and again putting back three steps towards the worldliness. Two steps to spiritual and three to the worldly. That way, we all will be in an illusion of doing sadhana, actually not doing. When it is not doing, how can there be progress? So then we say, I am doing so much, there is no progress seen at all. So we are in an illusion that we are doing. Why? Because two steps towards spirituality, three or four steps towards the worldliness. So this is how that immaturity in us doesn't allow us to go towards spiritual perfection. So what we have to seek from the Lord's grace, what we have to seek from our own study of Shastras, what we have to seek from our own self introspection and contemplation is clear, exclusive understanding and pursuit only of the divine. And how do we do that also? Only again one way. What we are seeking other than the God was sought so many times earlier, and we obtained also with the idea that when I obtain that, there will be completeness, there will be full satisfaction, etc. But every time when that is obtained, neither it gave completeness nor it gave satisfaction, rather, by deluding us, cheating us, every time that involvement, whatever it is, worldly, created more strong impressions or vasanas, only to again force us toward the worldliness, thus making us a slave to that, thus blinding or making our intellect dull, not allowing it to function at all, to think what we are pursuing, is it correct or not, to think what is the highest thing to be pursued. So, when the intellect becomes blunt, not able to deeply think as to what is to be pursued as a human, what is to be achieved, then that person's life is wasted. Wasted in the sense zero spiritual growth. He may keep other goals, he may even achieve them. But again, the same point that repeatedly we have gone through every experience. Instead of giving satisfaction, contentment, completeness, every time they have cheated us. So this thought should be entertained by us. Then what should be sought? What should be sought is permanent bliss, eternal bliss, even though we don't have the complete picture about it right now. Faith in the Shastra and Guru, what they promise with the prapti of Paramatma Anubhuti is the permanent bliss, eternal bliss. So, uh, without giving chance to the mind or the delusions or the Maya, at least for 3 4 lives, exclusively trying only for spiritual unfoldment. You know, when we do it, then that bliss, when it comes, obviously everything else goes away. You know what generally we do, how we delude ourselves is let the worldly enjoyments be gone through. After all they are over, then let me go for spirituality. This is the biggest, highest, greatest delusion, cause for all subsequent delusions. Because this proposition that after all worldly bhoga, I'll go for spirituality is wrong because the worldly things never end. Again and again we get human or any of the lives. Again and again in every life there will be craving for the things and we involve in them. Neither the cravings end nor the objects end nor the involvement ends. And thus, like yesterday, it will be today too. Like yesterday and today, tomorrow also it will be. Like that, the next life. Like that, thousands of lives we get deluded by our own this wrong notion. Somehow, by God's grace, by our own strong understanding and commitment, if we can change to this proposal, what it is, first Bhagavan's Anubhuti. Then after that, if that Anubhuti is not complete, not satisfactory, infinite, then I will go for the worldly bhoga. If this much change, if we can bring deeply in the core of our heart, and accordingly keep on postponing the worldly involvements and keeping on preponing or conducting spiritual sadhanas at every moment and always saying मैं नहीं जाऊंगा अभी वर्ल्डली में बिकॉज आई हैव नॉट इट टच्ड और टेस्टेड द परमात्मा फर्स्ट लेट मी एक्सपीरियंस भगवान फिर देखेंगे वो कंप्लीट नहीं है तो फिर से दुनिया में जाएंगे सो इन दिस वे इफ यू कैन adjust our inner mechanism inner mind intellects convictions minds proposal को postpone करके intellectual conviction को commitment को of spiritual experience. If you give badava or importance and actually you do it, we ourselves have to. Remember, in spirituality, effort is required and effort is to be put by us only. That effort, whether it is of going to the Guru, the effort, whether it is of listening the Shastra, whether the effort is of from the Shastra getting the information regarding Paramatma Prapti and the conviction regarding that, then committing only for that and postponing everything else or keeping away everything else, each of them require not the grosser outer physical sharira efforts, but the deeper intellectual understanding efforts and withstanding to the onslaught of those demands and cravings. A special spiritual effort it is. We only have to put Prayers will help us to some extent, and our own conviction, our own willing, the willpower कहते हैं, that helps to some extent. Even then, the prarabdhas, the mayas, the minds, all of them again and again attack us. They try everything to defeat us. And yet, somehow, if we can, every time when the strong attack is there, we are able to withstand. When the attack is not there, vigorously, if we are able to do the sadhana, that is how whoever had succeeded, they have gone through. एक और चीज हम लाइफ में देखें कि whenever we are at our mind's level in sattva body level, we are healthy, problems are less. At that time, we have to become conscious and intelligent. Conscious about कि such a good opportunity has come. Intelligence is, therefore, let me use this time maximum for my deeper inner study and sadhana. Therefore, उसका जो साधना का स्टडी का पॉजिटिव संस्कार, let me make stronger and stronger. Because whenever health is not good, whenever the mind is too much disturbed by Rajo and Tamo Guna, whenever the obligations are too many, duties are too many, compulsions are there for various reasons, anyway, our sadhana cannot be so intense. But even at that time, whatever minimum sadhana we have to do only. That's a part. But when it is convenient, and those convenient moments come every day, few hours. Those hours, if we can encash, we can ensure that we are on the path. One more addition can be checking the mind and seeing its proposals of anything other than spirituality. Just tell to the mind, oh mind, we have gone through this many times. Now let's not listen to you. Let us listen to intellect. Oh intellect, what do you say? It says you are a human being. It says you are attending Shastra Satsang every day. It says then be convinced about spiritual goal. Then it says then do sadhana. Come, Abhi. So this way, it is a continuous struggle. Continuous struggle till we are on the highway, the path. And even being on highway, we cannot be assured, because at every moment, even in the highway, there are very many times our tests keep on coming to us. A spiritual sadhaka, inspired by the goal ultimate chosen, from within, invoking all the energies, powers, keeps on traveling in it, and any onslaughts, any tests, obstructions come, he develops by various reasons the knowledge, the maturities to negotiate through all of them, keeps on moving, 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 moving. And this is not a physical journey outside. It is not a journey in time, in place. It is a journey inside, from the wrong convictions to the right convictions, from the extroverted worldliness to exclusive, single pointed, introverted journey, from the pursuit of anatma, not self, to the pursuit of the atma. This is a inner. देखो फिजिकल जर्नी में क्या होता है, that particular patch of bad road etc., when you cross it is over, it doesn't come at all in that path. गड्ढे वाला रोड है, पार कर दिया तो वो वाला दोबारा नहीं आता. बट इन स्पिरिचुअलिटी ऐसा नहीं होता. At this moment, we might have conquered that mind's weakness. Again, it will attack. Again, it will come. So ये ऐसा ही होता है. अंदर का जर्नी है ना, फिजिकल प्लेस में, टाइम में जर्नी नहीं है ये. So inner journey of conquering the vasanas, conquering the habits, conquering the wrong notions, wrong convictions. It's like Deva Asura Sangrama. You can't take it for granted. Now Devatas have won, it is all over once for all. No, no, no. The Rakshasas are again preparing themselves again to attack. And the Rakshasas don't have the sympathies like Devatas of any sort. They are ruthless. They are criminal. They once attack any destruction they do. In the same way, we can never take it for granted that we are on the path we have conquered. हमको ना पता भी नहीं चलता कि वी आर अटैक्ड बाई रजो एंड तमो गुण वी आर अटैक्ड बाई द नेगेटिव थॉट्स वैल्यूज वी आर अटैक्ड बाई द वर्ल्डलीनेस एंड वी आर थिंकिंग अबाउट इट वी आर गोइंग टुवर्ड द वर्ल्डलीनेस पता भी नहीं चलता like some diseases we don't even know they are there they already started eating away the body ऐसा होता है So all these things are a part of spirituality. ये सब को समझते हुए फिर शास्त्र अध्ययन के द्वारा तत्व को समझते हुए आगे बढ़ना. Another way is what? If we are fully surrendered to Guru and God, especially the Guru, and without giving chance to mind even to think little, do only those sadhanas said by the Guru for the sake of Guru, then इतना पर्सनल स्ट्रगल की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती. At the altar of surrender to the Guru, doing whatever he says automatically makes us conquer our own inner mind and all those compulsions, pressures, urges of externalities or extrovertedness. हमको क्या करना है? तीनों करना है. ब्रह्म विद्या को सूक्ष्मता से पढ़ना है, स्वयं को समझते हुए अपने आप को नियंत्रित डिसिप्लिन करना है, भगवत गुरु का भी निरंतर कृपा का क्या कहते हैं इन्वोकेशन भी करना है थ्रू उपासना. ऑल पुट टुगेदर इज साधना. सो मे वी ऑल थ्रू अवर एवरीडे लिसनिंग स्टडीइंग become deeper and deeper in our right understandings, right convictions. May we invoke from within and without the strengths to live these convictions and truly ensure that we are walking on the path, truly ensure that we are really evolving. Let none of this become mechanical, none of this become show off, none of this is a passing time, none of these are done with insincerity. No, it should be serious, sincere, the goal of the heart. ऐसा मानकर deeply from, like these Gopikas, how deep they are to have Bhagavan's darshan. Any of the bhaktas you can see, अनन्य भाव से भगवत दर्शन के लिए उनके अंदर वो तपन और तड़प. You can see the examples of the Shabaris, no examples of Mother Sita ji for Rama, any of the examples, hundreds of them. And then Nachiketas, the urge to know the truth reality. ये सब एग्जाम्पल से हमको वो डीपेस्ट अर्ज फॉर द लॉर्ड वो क्रिएट करते हुए कीप ऑन मूविंग. May we be blessed all these pursuits by Mata Rani, by the Lord, by all the Guru Parampara, Guru Tattva, and our Shruti Mata. Let us see what are our today's thoughts in our Aitareya Upanishad, in our Yoga Darshanam, in our Mundaka Upanishad. We are seeing the summary. Second Mundaka we'll see today. Tomorrow is the third one and it will be over. Then day after Dashara or maybe a day after Mandukya will be starting in Telugu. Then our Gita 12th chapter, beautiful topic of values going on. Last 3 days we saw 7 values, then 26 more are there. Evening Bhagavatam, we did the great 87th chapter in the 88th one. So sweetly Bhagavan's words yesterday we saw through Yudhishthira how he, to whomever he wants to bless, how he molds their life. In Adhyatma Ramayanam, we have started Panchakosha Viveka yesterday. We will see that also the Avastatraya Viveka. So the whole day, as much as possible, struggling with our own inner personality, somehow we have to put ourselves on the spiritual path. Like the women at home, homemakers, the great ladies, जिनको जितना भी प्रणाम करो धन्यवाद करो कम है कि they are weak, they have some disease, there's a pain in the body, age also is little grown. Somehow, not valuing, caring all of that. Everyday routine, whatever they have to do, of the daily course of everything, which is a double bigger work than what the man does going to the office. All that she does. In between, she goes and applies the ointment, takes a tablet. 5 minutes she sits and takes that gasping or air, but on the job. देखो, अभी कपड़े धोना है, अभी घर साफ करनी, अभी ब्रेकफास्ट बनाना, अभी लंच करना है, अभी देखो मार्केट जाके ये लाना है. See that job of hers all the time, negotiating through all these weaknesses or diseases and so much, इतना निस्वार्थ होते हैं, इतने सारे तकलीफ होते हैं. In spite of that, they keep on. That is why the houses are going on running. If the lady of the house withdraws doing the work for any of the excuses, घर का एक दिन भी वो चलेगा नहीं आगे. Taking that as an example and inspiration, we also somehow put ourselves on the path. Anyhow, put ourselves on the path. Every how we have to try to put ourselves on the path. जैसे एवरीडे करते हैं, somehow आ जाओ क्लास में बैठो, somehow सुनो. This is the highest achievement which big people also have failed. The so-called big sadhakas also, they are sporadically great seekers. Once in a while, intensely, deeply, for 1 day, 2 days, 10 days, they do the study, they do sadhana. But not like you, the great people, in spite of everything, every day managing to come to the class. Every day managing to come to the class, in my opinion, is the highest of the achievement of conquering the mind, conquering the duties, conquering other obligations, conquering the compulsions, conquering the time. So many things are achieved. बस इसी को और डीपली करें और पर्पसफुली करें और क्रिस्टल क्लियर अंडरस्टैंडिंग से सारे करें. These are the classes which are going to bless us and reveal the truth to us. So may we all be that way, be on the path. Let us see what are the thoughts today. Om, Om, Om. Om Sahana Vavadu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsharusibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha. Om Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam भिषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः. श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्. गुरुपुङ्गवपुङ्गवकेतनते समतामयतां नहि कोऽपि सुधीः. शरणागतवत्सल तत्त्वनिधे भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम्. ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम्. एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि. परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः. श्री ऐतरेय उपनिषदः आचार्येभ्यो नमः. अस्मत् गुरुभ्यो नमः. सङ्कल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव अनुभवसिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्वाध्यात्मिकं प्रगति विश्वशान्ति एकता पुरोभिवृद्ध्यर्थम् अस्मिन् धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये निष्ठित अस्माकं सह समस्त भक्त साधकानां बाह्य अभ्यंतर शत्रुविघ्न निर्मूलन द्वारा समस्त शक्ति साधना संपदा सानुकूल्यता आयुरारोग्यादीनां प्राप्ति द्वारा धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये नित्य निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थम श्री ऋग्वेदांतर्गत ऐतरेय आरण्यकांतर्गत ऐतरेय उपनिषदः पारायणम् आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। अथ आदौ पारायणम्। ॐ मनस्तापदमशान्त्यै यस्य पादनखच्छटा शरदिन्दुरिवा भाति तं वन्दे नीलचिन्मणिम्। ॐ अथ श्रीऋग्वेदान्तर्गत ऐतरेय उपनिषद् प्रथमोऽध्यायः शान्तिमन्त्रः। ॐ वाङ्मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्म एधि वेदस्य म आणीस्तः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीः अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् अवतु वक्तारम्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम अथ तृतीयः खण्डः। Spend with full devotion 3-4 minutes in the chanting of Tritiya Khanda mantras. Om sa ikshate menu lokascha lokapalascha अन्नमेभ्यः सृजा इति सह अपः अभ्यदभतो ताभ्यः वितप्ताभ्यः मूर्तिरजायत या वैसा मूर्तिरजायत अन्नं वै ततो तदेनत् सृष्टं परां त्यजिगांसत तद्वाचा जिगृक्षत तन्नाशक्नोद्वाचा ग्रहीतुं स यद् एनद्वाचा ग्रहीष्यत् अविव्याहृत्यः एव अन्नमत्रप्स्यतो तत्प्राणेनाजिगृक्षत् तन्नाशक्नोत् प्राणेन ग्रहीतुं स यद् एनत् प्राणेन अग्रहीष्यत् अविप्राण्यः एव अन्नमत्रप्स्यतो तच्चक्षुषा जिगृक्षत तन्नाशक्नोत् चक्षुषा ग्रहीतुं स यद् एनत् चक्षुषा ग्रहीष्यत् दृष्ट्वा एव अन्नमत्रप्स्यत् तत्श्रोत्रेण जिगृक्षत तन्नाशक्नोत् श्रोत्रेण ग्रहीतुं स यद् एनत् श्रोत्रेण अग्रहीष्यत श्रुत्वा एव अन्नमत्रप्स्यत तत् त्वचा अजिगृक्षत तन्नाशक्नोत् त्वचा ग्रहीतुं स यद् एनत् त्वचा अग्रहीष्यत स्पृष्ट्वा एव अन्नमत्रप्स्यत तन्मनसा अजिगृक्षत तन्नाशक्नोत् मनसा ग्रहीतुं स यद् एनद् मनसा ग्रहीष्यत ध्यात्वा एव अन्नमत्रप्स्यत तत् शिष्णेनाजिगृक्षत तन्नाशक्नोत् शिष्णेन ग्रहीतुं स यद् एनत् शिष्णेनाग्रहीष्यत विसृज्य एव अन्नमत्रप्स्यत तदपानेनाजिगृक्षत तदावयत् सा एषः अन्नस्य ग्रहः यद्वायुः अन्नायुः वा एषः यद् वायुः स ईक्षत कथं नु इदं मदधृते स्यात् इति स ईक्षत कतरेण प्रपद्या इति स ईक्षत यदि वाचा अभिव्याहृतं यदि प्राणेनाभिप्राणितं यदि चक्षुषा दृष्टं यदि श्रोत्रेण श्रुतं यदि त्वचा स्पृष्टं यदि मनसा ध्यातं यदि अपानेन अभ्यपानितं यदि शिष्टेन विसृष्टं अत कोऽहमिति स एतमेव सीमानं विदार्य एतया द्वारा प्रापद्यत सा एषा विद्रुतिर्नाम द्वाः तदेतत् नान्दनन्तस्य त्रयावसताः त्रयः स्वप्नाः अयमावसतोऽयमावसतोऽयमावसत इति स जातो भूतानि अभिव्यैख्यत किमिह अन्यं वावदिशदिति स एतमेव पुरुषं ब्रह्म ततमम पश्यत इदम् अदर्शमिति तस्मादिदन्द्रो नाम इदन्द्रो ह वै नाम तमिन्द्रम् इदन्द्रं सन्तम् इन्द्र इत्याचक्षते परोक्षेण परोक्षप्रिया इव हि देवाः परोक्षप्रिया इव हि देवाः. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Remember the topics so far covered in the first two khandas of the first adhyaya. Paramatma alone was there before creation. He does the ikshana. From that the lokas are created. Then for the protection of the lokas, he thought of having the lokapala. For the expression of lokapala, first he created the Virat Purusha. Through his dhyanam from the Virat Purusha, the apertures or the golakas, from there the indriyas, from there indriya adhisthana devatas came. Then Bhagavan has endowed all of them with Ashana Vipasa. Then the devatas asked the Lord, He give us the place to stay, staying where we will have our Ashana Vipasa fulfilled. Then Bhagavan brought the cow and the horse and so many other beings. For all of them, they saw they were not contented or satisfied that what they want to have, they can't have through any of those equipments. Then Purusha Manayatu, when the Purusha was brought, okay, then they were extremely happy, Sukrutam Bhata. The reasoning given is this Purusha Akruti is exactly like the Virat Purusha Akruti from whom all these devatas have come. So they felt at home. They felt very comfortable. Therefore, the Bhagavan ordered them, "Chalo, tumko acha laga, then enter." Then into that Manushya Sharira, all these Agnivayuvadi devatas, becoming the Indriyas, they have entered. So Agnirvag Bhutva Mukam Pravishat ityadi ityadi. So how many things are done? The lokas are there made. Ambaha Marichi Maramapaha. Virat Purusha is made. Indriyas are made. Indriya Adhishtanas are made. Human form is made. Into the human form, all these devatas have gone and occupied their respective places. Now all of them are hungry. है कि नहीं? जैसे आप कहीं कैंप में या कहीं जाते हो, फर्स्ट द होटल बुकड, वी एंटर, पुट ऑल आवर बैगेज एंड लगेज. फर्स्ट थिंग इज वेरी हंग्री. मेनू कार्ड ऑर्डरिंग देम, भाई पहले ले आओ, नहा के आता हूँ, सब तैयार होना है. हंगर, in the same way, the hunger was there with all of them. This kind Lord saw they're all suffering with hunger. Therefore, he wanted to create that food. Now, mind you, all this is the Atyanta Sukshma Rupa mein Srushti ka Nirmana. That alone has become Sthula now. Now, this Sthula Sukshma Taratamya, we should be able to grasp and understand. And then should know that from the Sukshma, the Sthula came and we are lost in the Sthula. Therefore, by reversing the process from the Sthula into the Sukshma realms, we have to lift ourselves, which is very tough. स्थूल इतना गंभीर होता है, इतना स्ट्रांग पकड़ता है हमको, छोड़ने को ही मन नहीं होता, even after knowing for hundreds of lives. क्योंकि स्थूल में इतना सॉलिडिटी रियलिटी दिखता है. दैट इज अ मोह, दैट इज अ माया. आंखों के सामने दिख रहा है, सब लोग उसका भोग कर रहे हैं. मैंने भी इतना बार भोग किया, मुझे इतना खुशी मिला उससे. हाउ कैन आई डिनाई ऑल दिस solidly appearing as real experiences to go to the sukshma, you know? But remember how much ever deeply we experience the dream, yet it is not real, is it not? When we wake up, we know it was not so. Same way, how much ever deeply, really we experience the waking world experiences, Yet they are like the dream in compared to the subtle realms. So to catch this point only lot of time takes, lot of study of the Shastras has to be done. Then start visualizing the life from the sthula drushti se chodkar sukshma drushti se. So then he wanted to make them have the food because they're all hungry. Then what did he do? From the same water predominant Pancha Mahabhuta, through his sankalpa, through his dhyana, he brought out the food. This is what we saw yesterday in the third khanda, first, second mantras. Is it not? Sa ikshata. He has visualized. He has done the sankalpa. What is that? Menu lokaha cha lokapalaha cha. By me, the lokas and lokapalas are created. Then annamebhyah srujai iti. Let me create anna for them. Okay, and iska bhashya ke baad, what one important thought Bhagavan Shankara shared with us. We saw it yesterday also, day before also. What is that? Tadvat Maheshwarasya api sarveshwaratvat sarvan prati nigraha anugrahe api swatantriyam eva. What a crucial, what an important thought to come out of our ego and to enter into the egoless surrender. Very crucial thought. What is that? The Sarveshwara, by his own Swatantrata, he being Sarveshwara, has got the Nigraha Anugraha Swatantrata on all beings who are his own expression or who are created by him. Catch this point. Then what is the outcome of it? Outcome is we all as individuals, let us say human, can never be totally fully free or independent and need not be. Yesterday, day before, we have discussed about it. We are always under the nigraha and anugraha of Paramatma. Generally, we live life in such a form or manner that we are always nigrahita by the Lord. Nigraha is controlling, punishing, all of that. But there is other way of life also. When lived instead of nigraha, we can get the anugraha of Paramatma. Everywhere, no, like the children. Wrongly behave, the parents do the nigraha of them. But decently they behave, the parents do anugraha. So do the teachers in schools, colleges. They do the nigraha, they can do anugraha. So to the king or the whoever, the government. If we do the wrong things, there is a court and all which do the nigraha. But then if you really do the good work, there is anugraha. There are award ceremonies, there are promotions, all of that. हमको दिख रहा है कि नहीं? So we cannot be independent in our life, and we should not be independent in life, and we have to be dependent. And the dependency we have to, by being independent, make right use of it. What is the meaning of it? It is when there is the choice for us to live life, after which we are either nigruhita by the God or anugrahita by the God. Why not choose that path of getting anugraha from the Lord? ये थोड़ा सा इंट्रिकेट क्रूशियल पॉइंट है. उन चीजों को समझना ही रियल स्पिरिचुअल मेच्योरिटी, which is taking time, which is because of the depth of the understanding is not there, and the power of the vasanas, overpowering effect of the vasanas and the minds, still the habits of projection going in the wrong company, all of them are not allowing us to have this deep correct knowledge of life. What is the deep knowledge and correct knowledge? Let us live life in such a way we are anugrahita by Ishvara, not Nigrahita. The entire Puran literature is based on it only, where every time when Bhagwan comes, he does Nigraha of some, he does the Anugraha to some. And whom he is Anugrahita, whom he is blessing, and whom he is doing Nigraha, is so clear a picture. है ना? Who are dharmika, who are adhyatmika, who are jignasu, who are mumukshus, who are bhaktas, who are sharanagata, all of them are anugrahita. And whoever are adharmika, papi, and not bhaktas of the god, not a, it's a bhogi type, they are all nigruhita. This is a very important thought. Ki we as an individual can never be apart from the total. And we are always under the Nigraha Anugraha Shakti of the Samashti. And what is there difficult to understand in it? There is no difficulty. One, all our upadhis, Sharira, Mana, Buddhi, Indriya, ये हमको दिए गए, but they are never unconnected from the total. They are always connected from the total. That's why continuously we are getting affected and influenced by the total. And the Chit Abhasa in us, because of which we are intelligent being and are able to think and work. Is not that by the Lord's grace only again in us? Is it not? So this is a very sober thought that I as an individual am always under the Nigraha Anugraha Shakti of the God. Therefore, instead of behaving in such a way of getting a Nigraha, let me behave in an Anugraha way. This understanding is a revelation. It is a freedom, from the biggest bondage called a separated ego, individuality. जिसको पकड़कर हम उस ईगो के सेटिस्फैक्शन के लिए क्या क्या नॉनसेंस करते हुए एज ए मिजरेबल ईगो ओनली वी कंटिन्यू लाइक ए ड्रंकर्ड एंड पर्सन भाई खुद के चॉइस से ही गोज थ्रू ऑल दैट एंड ही ओनली सफर्स ego also by its own choice denies the totality tuning and consequently it is suffering itself only. Totality never suffers from individuality. Total has such a terrible power. If it wills, इस individuality जो नाटक कर रहा है उसको क्रश करके कुचल डालेगा वो. टोटालिटी को डर नहीं होता है इंडिविजुअल से, उसका इतना शक्ति है. लॉस इंडिविजुअल को ही है by not tuning to the total. But not knowing it, we always try to live the life of individuality isolation. And the living life at the individual isolation level percolates to such level that even while doing spiritual sadhana, we talk about I, me, my sadhana. Even though in the beginning days we have to mind this way, it is me who is bound, it is my spiritual sadhana. But as we mature, there is nothing called as me or my spiritual sadhana. It's only the spiritual way of life expressing through this equipment without any individuality, which is little subtle for us to grasp right now. और 10 साल सुनना पड़ेगा हमको. There is nothing called as my spirituality. There is only spirituality expressing through these upadhis. There is no my. That's why at the later period, the gurus guide them. Once the my spirituality वाला साधना sufficiently किया जाता है इस भक्त की साधक के साथ, the next level में the gurus ensure that this my aspect is removed. They ensure there is no my. That spirituality is expressing through that, which is expressing everywhere. इस उपाधि के साथ भी express हो. That is actual realization. That's called moksha. Done. So the first mantra we have seen, ki, let me create food for them. Then the auxiliary thought is what? Ishvara being Sarveshwara as God, Nigraha Anugraha, Shakti over all the individuals. Here the proof it is what? He has done the Nigraha of all devatas by putting them in hunger and thirst. Anugraha, he is doing it by creating food for them. है कि नहीं? निग्रह अनुग्रह सब देवताओं का. This is what we have to understand. Then how the food has come? Saha apaha abhyatapatu tabhyah avitaptabhyah murti rajayata ya vaisa murti ajayata annam vai tat. So again the earlier manifested Pancha Mahabhuta predominant by the water, because water is the life giving things. Water is the food giving things. है ना, पानी से ही भोजन होता है, जीवन होता है. So on that he did the sankalpa that anna should come. Then what happened? Tabhya vitaptabhya. From that water on which he has meditated, murti rajayata. Suddenly a solid thing has come out of that, the Pancha Mahabhuta, basically the waters. By his sankalpa shakti. Now इसमें क्या है? भगवान के संकल्प में ही ये शक्ति है कि जो वो चाहते हैं वो होता है. फुल स्टॉप. वहां रोकना है हमारा थिंकिंग. डोंट आस्क अबाउट द प्रोसेस. प्रोसेस कुछ भी हो. लाइक क्या है प्रोसेस? चाय बनाने का. चाय बनाने का प्रोसेस कुछ भी हो, बट देर इज ए लिविंग एंटिटी बिहाइंड ना, हु हैज डन द संकल्प ऑफ मेकिंग ए टी. So the one who gives importance to the process and not to the sankalpa of the living being, he is a samsari. The one who gives importance to the sankalpa of the living being, he is a sadhak. अब प्रोसेस कुछ भी हो सकता है. चाय बनाने का दसों तरीके हैं. रात को ही चाय पत्ती पानी में डालो ताकि वो पूरा रस आ जाएगा. सुबह करो, वो एक बात है. या पानी गर्म करके उसमें डालो या पहले ही डालो, या पानी दूध मिलाकर फिर चाय पत्ती डालो. No, each is a different. You can't say which is perfect. But by all those things, the chai will come. Because in this world, there is no perfection. Because it depends on the person's body and his tongue. Which way of making the tea suits which person, we don't know. अगर चाय एक ही होता है तो एक ही चाय होना चाहिए दुनिया में. अब चाय की दुकान में जाके देखो, सैकड़ों चाय होते हैं. Therefore, in the process, there is no standard thing. But in the sankalpa, there is standard that everybody wants to have tea, and every tea maker has sankalpa of making tea. Processes are different. Okay. So, Bhagavan ne socha, then that Murti came out. Be aware of these things. Murti hi ajayata. या वैसा मूर्ति ही अजायत. एंड व्हाट इज दैट मूर्ति? जो आया है, तत् अन्नम. अन्नम वही तत्. Means they're all very sublime, very subtle things. Means what? Whatever the anna rupena, we all receive or grasp or accept or consume. All the beings in the whole universe. Why one microorganism से लेकर anyone you think, all of that annam is first a thought, a concept of the Lord. Then it took first one common form. From that common food again, by his sankalpa, it has become conducive to thousands. And to all the beings, all the variety of beings. Like ना घर में दूध है, कॉमन थिंग इज दूध. हम देखो कितने लोग हैं घर में, उनके एक किसी को दूध से चाय बनेगा, किसी को जो से कॉफी बनेगा. बच्चे हैं तो दूध में बोर्नविटा मिला कर देते हो. किसी को सर्दी जुकाम है तो दूध में हल्दी एंड यू ऐड द काली मिर्च एंड यू गिव इट. किसी को दूध से दही चाहिए, किसी को दूध से छाछ मट्ठा चाहिए, किसी को दूध से मक्खन चाहिए, किसी को दूध से घी चाहिए, किसी दूध का पेड़ा बनाएगा, कोई दूध से खीर बनाएगा, कोई भगवान का अभिषेक करेगा दूध से. Milk is one, but how many ways? Depending on a requirement of so many. An example. In the same way, the hunger is common. The food basical which comes out is common. Like hotel. Who goes into the hotel commonly? Those who are hungry. And in common, what hotel gives? Food only. First, these two are basic. Thereafter, who is the person, depending on his age or his health or his taste requirement, he goes and orders. Depending on the capacity of the hotel, those things they make. कोई होटल में आपकी पसंद वाला चीज नहीं होता, तो you don't go to, you go to somewhere else. There it is available. But the hunger and satiation hunger through the food, basic things. Then the choices and requirements and necessities और एडजस्टमेंट वो सब फिर बात की बातें होती हैं, इज इट नॉट? So therefore in the whole universe, common is hunger to all beings, and common is satiate the hunger of all. This can be a great sadhana. It's a higher concept. Then we go beyond this pranamaya kosha of hunger and thirst and all. वो कौन करेगा? वो जो मनोमय में पहुंचा है. मनोमय क्या? कि you love all. And how do you do that? When you reach to Jnanamaya kosha, when you know everyone is the expression of same divinity. Interconnected होते हैं सारे. Anyway, that's not our subject. Ours is straight away. या वै सा मूर्तिरजायत अन्नम वै ततो. And never ever these things are difficult to understand. Like घर में सबको भूख लगती है 8-9 बजे, that everybody's भूख morning वाला reaches to that homemaker. Then she just concepts first in the mind, क्या बनाऊं आज, कौन सा दिन है आज, छुट्टी है या उपवास का दिन है? तो शनिवार है, उपवास का दिन है, नवरात्रा चल रहे हैं, चलो साबुदाना खिचड़ी बनाएंगे. First the khichdi is in her mind. Then all items are brought. Even those items, wherever they are brought from, in those places also, those items were in the mind. Like shopkeeper के मन में पहले था वो आइटम, फिर होलसेल मार्केट वाले मन में था वो आइटम, फिर द किसान जिसने बनाया उनके मन में था वो आइटम, फिर उन्होंने उसको खेत जोत कर बनाया, देन द होलसेल रिटेल वाले ले आए, देन यू ब्रॉट फ्रॉम देयर होम एंड यू मेड इन ग्रॉस. ग्रॉस बॉडी के लिए ग्रॉस चाहिए, इसलिए ग्रॉसिफिकेशन हुआ of the food. The yogis don't have the gross body identity, therefore they consume food subtly. That's different. वो सब्जेक्ट यहाँ डिस्कस नहीं कर. So yavai sa मूर्तिरजायतः सह अन्नम इति. Up to this we have seen. या वैसा मूर्ति सा या वैसा मूर्तिरजायत अन्नम वै ततो. Now the Bhashya of it has one or two thoughts. Let us ponder over. Sah Ishvaraha, that Ishvaraha who annam sisrukshuhu, the one who desirous of creating the anna for all those lokapalas or the devatas, then what did he do? Taha eva, that alone. Purvoktaha apaha, the earlier said waters. Uddishya, focusing on that. Abhyatapatu, he has done again the tapasya. What is his tapasya? Just doing sankalp. बस संकल्प करना है उनका तपस्या. अभ्यतपतु. अब देखो वाई डिड देन, इफ संकल्प करना तपस्या है तो संकल्प किया है ऐसा कह सकते हैं ना. वाई डिड द वर्ड यूज अभ्यतपतु? बिकॉज उनके लिए संकल्प से सब बनता है. बट फॉर यू एंड आई, संकल्प शुड बी फॉलोड बाय तपस्या. Then only we get the food etc created. So for us to guide us not to get misguided, that the word abhyatapat is done, but abhyatapat for him is sankalp. हमारे लिए संकल्प काफी नहीं है. लाइक भगवान के लिए संकल्प कि ये जो है ना ये चीज बन जाए, उनका बन जाता है बिकॉज ऑफ इस संकल्प शक्ति. इट इज गॉट प्योरिफिकेशन, इट हैज गॉट सेल्फलेसनेस, सो मेनी रीजंस इन ईश्वरा संकल्प द शक्ति that it just gets manifested just by mere sankalpa. But you and I are not that way powerful in our sankalpa ना, that अपने आप चीज बन जाए. तो हमको करना पड़ता है. लाइक इन एनी ऑफिस और एनी किंग हो, तो किंग का संकल्प शक्ति होता है ये बना दो, ही नीड नॉट डू एनीथिंग, वो बनता है। बट दैट सबॉर्डिनेट्स जो है दे कैन नॉट डू लाइक दैट, द किंग संकल्प कर दिया तो काम हो गया, उनको तो फिजिकली अभ्य तपता तपस्या करना ही पड़ेगा। डू यू अंडरस्टैंड? सो वी ऑल हैव टू डू तपस्या, then only the phala comes to us. To convey this sadhana to be done thought, abhyatapata word is used. But is that the Lord did tapasya like us physically struggled? No. For him the tapasya is sankalp kafi hai. है ना? Just like I told you. The king का तपस्या है संकल्प करना बस. He did not physically make the things. But for the soldiers or subordinates, they can't do sankalpa. वो काफी नहीं है उनके लिए. Like an army officer. His tapasya is forward march. That's all. He only gives sankalpa and order. But others cannot say soldiers, अच्छा हम बोलेंगे forward march. They have to go. Physically they have to do the tapasya. Is it not? He says fire. They can't say fire. They have to fire physically. Tapasya. So, his tapasya is sankalpa. Our tapasya is with sankalpa, the effort. बिना एफर्ट्स का संकल्प फल नहीं देता हमारे लिए, साधकों के लिए, जीवों के रूप में जो है, फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस। नाउ सह ईश्वरः अन्नं शिक्षुः ता एव पूर्वोक्ताः अपः उद्दिश्य अभ्यतपतु। लुक एट द भाष्य, chant along with me, listen to the meaning of every word, understand the total sentence, try to understand from that what therefore is conveyed to us. And then through all the Vedanta Shastra, when we understand these four things, every time our understanding is becoming clear. What is it? First, in that particular sentence, what is said about the Jiva? In that particular sentence, is there something said out about the Jagat? What is said in that about the Ishvara? And in and through the sentence, what is said about the Parabrahma beyond? If you can develop a knack of seeing in these four ways, then we are understanding what Upanishad is conveying. And always Upanishad conveys three things only. One, the whole Jiva Jagat Ishvara is going on. Two, they all are going on because of the presence of Paramatma Parabrahma. Three, that Paramatma is independent of all that. Though in his presence with his sankalpa it is happening, yet he is independent, is not conditioned. You understood? These things through every sentence, every shloka, every topic we are understanding, then we are on the right path. Thereafter, ईश्वर जीव जगत भेद का तिरस्कार करके व्यतिरेक just establish in the Parabrahma. उनका अन्वय करना. Now, listen to the next sentence. ताभ्यः अवितप्ताभ्यः उपादान भूताभ्यः. On what he did tapasya was on this Panchamahabhuta predominant with water. That was the Upadana. From that Upadana, with his tapasya, Murti came out. What is Murti? भगवान भाष्यकार के दृष्टि से मूर्ति मीन्स घन रूपम. The solid thing has come. Here the meaning of Murti is the Ghana Rupam has come. So Murti is Ghana. What is the meaning of Ghana or solid Rupa? Artha kya hai? Dharana Samartham. Means what? Which can be withheld, which can be held. Be attentive. By each of the Devatas as per their requirement and possibility. So these three words try to catch. Murti, Ghanarupam, Dharana Samartham. A form came, Murti, and that form is solid, the Ganarupa, and that solid Ganarupa Murti is Dharana Samartha, can be held by whoever wants to hold it. Dharana samartham. Murti ajayat. Okay. Now the next thought is very important. The dharana samartha ghanarupa murti, which is called as the annam, which came out of the upadana of the Panchamahamutta predominant by water with the ikshana or sankalpa of Paramatma, that food is charachara lakshanam. Inherently, it has got the chara lakshanata and achara lakshanata. Charachara lakshanam ajayata utpannam. As we said yesterday, to avoid the future questions, in the beginning only it is said. Okay, so there are the two types of beings in this world. One being is happy with the food, which is achara rupa. Other beings need the food, which is chara rupa. Okay, we see it is in the world. So the achara rupa food is the plants, all the plant based food. Is it not? And the human beings who are vegetarians, the animals like cows, etc. also, उनका खुराक खाना क्या है? The achara rupa, the plants. But that's not the only creation of beings that are there. There are other wild animals like tiger, etc. They cannot be happy with the achara food of the plants, etc. So their makeup is such a way that they have to have the food of all these mamsa ityadi. Now you can't have the mamsa grown in the farm, in the plants. It has to be in animals only. Therefore, that's the chara bhojan. Again, the chara bhojan, mobile food. This is how it is created. Chara also you can mean at a subtler level the two things called as vayu and as jalam. है कि नहीं? तो वायु भी भोजन है. There are some living beings like serpents or few are said, वो लोग सिर्फ वायु भक्षण करके जीते हैं. And there are some things with जल भक्षण से ही जीते हैं. So jala and vayu are not achara. They are not at one place. Na? They keep on moving chara. You know, if the vayu remains at one place, the pani remains at one place, achara, it becomes stinking. It becomes poisonous. You can't drink or inhale that air. We die only. है ना, एक कमरा बंद है, उसमें हवा भर भर कर इतना पॉइजनस होएगा, दम घुटेगा हमको, हम अगर जाते हैं उस कमरे में. Is it not so to water in a pond stayed there only without flowing? Also with all the moss and all, it becomes poisonous only. 3 महीने पानी ऐसे रखो मटके में, मरेंगे उसको पिएंगे तो बाद में. Is it not? Therefore, water and winds have to be always flowing. They are the chara and they are also the annam, सूक्ष्म अन्न. ऐसा भी हम समझ सकते हैं चर. But the basic meaning of chara bhojanam is like for this, some of the animals, tigers, etc. The living things are also one. Like for the cat, the rats, for the tiger, the deers, etc. So too for the some birds like vultures and all, they prey upon only the living insects. अब छिपकली को देखो, हर दिन रात को वो जब जहाँ बिजली होती है वो घूमते रहते हैं, वहाँ सारे चर मकोड़े कीड़ों को खाता रहता है. So these all chara eatables were later on expression required by these uh, creatures, animals or whatever. But basically, in the concept of the food, it has charata and acharata. बस इसको पकड़ो. So first Bhagwan, second is Sankalpa, third is Sankalpa on the Upadana Karana of the Apaha, fourth from the Apa the Murti came, fifth that Murti is Ghana, Then the sixth, the Ghana Murti is the what it is called as Dharana Samartha, and the Dharana Samartha Ghana Rupa Murti Rupa Anna is Chara Rupa as well as Achara Lakshana Rupa. So Chara Achara Lakshanam Ajayata Utpannam. This is how it has come. So अन्नम वै तत् मूर्ति रूपम या वै सा मूर्ति ही अजायता. देखो दैट मूर्ति रूप में जो आया है वही अन्न है देवताओं के लिए. हो गया. दिस इज व्हाट इज सेकंड मंत्र. नाउ वी विल सी द थर्ड मंत्र पारायणम, उसका लिटरल मीनिंग विथ भाष्य टुमारो विल स्टडी. कैसे? सी तद एतत् तद एनत् सृष्टम. हम्म, 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 हम्म. तत् एनत् सृष्टं परांत्य जिगांसत् तद् वाचा अजिघृक्षत तत् न अशक्नोत् वाचा ग्रहीतुम् स यद् एनत् वाचा अग्रहयिष्यत् अभिव्याहृत्यः एव अन्नम् अतृप्स्यत्. ये एक समझे ना. द नेक्स्ट 8 मंत्रास इन वन गो वी कैन कंक्लूड 8 और 7 मंत्रास, क्योंकि द सेम थिंग इज रिपीटेड. So today we will tell you the literal meaning. Tomorrow with the Bhashya, same thing we study. Okay. Tat, that, enat, this, sustam, the created anna. What happened to that? Para antya jigam sat. That वो मुंह फेर के बैठा from all these devatas, the other direction, as if it wants to run away, don't want to get consumed. Though it is created for consumption only. Like the deers, etc., never come into the mouth of the tiger or lion. They have to chase. So, to all the plants, etc., we have to go and consume them. They won't come to our house. ये आइडिया बताने के लिए कहा कि दे आर मुंह फेर के बैठा है वो भोजन अन्न. What is the meaning of parangta jigamsat, that the food want to run away? So many meanings. The two meanings are what? One, we have to go and consume the food. Second, before it gets non-consumable, it gets to become non-consumable. है कि नहीं? घर में जो भी राशन जाते हैं हमको ही लाना पड़ता है और तब कंज्यूम करना है उसका एक्सपायरी डेट होने से पहले. अगर हाउ मच थिंग्स एक्सपायर होकर हम फेंकते जाते हैं. This is the meaning of parangtya jighamsat. So then before that going away, running away, expiry date, then that Paramatma only first vacha ajigrukshat. With Vani he wanted to consume that food. Either you say the Paramatma wanted to consume the food for the Vani, or the Vag Indriya Agni Devata through Vak his Indriya Ajigrukshata he wanted to consume that food. Okay, that is the second point. Third one is what? Tat na ashaknotu vacha grahitum. That Agni Deva could not do the grahana of that anna through his Vani. Okay, now very interesting thought, which is commonly said from here for the next 6 or 7 Indriya Adhisthana Devatas and Indriyas. ध्यान से सुनो. सिंपल है कि यदि एनत वाचा अग्रहिष्यत, if at all that Vani was able to consume the food by its own Indriya called the Vani, be attentive. In the future, may all the jivas be attentive. By uttering the name of that anna or the food, it should have been that the food is consumed for them. मतलब रसगुल्ला कह दिया मुंह से और रसगुल्ला का मिल गया हमको खाना. Just say with the mouth and food is consumed. ऐसा होना चाहिए अगर if the Vani is able to consume the food. So the Vagdeva, the Agni, want to consume the food. But what is his power? Only to speak out, no? So he tried to consume the food with his Indriya of the speaking. But he could not consume. And if he could have consumed for all the future coming jivas, by uttering the name of the food only, the consumption would have been complete. बट ऐसा नहीं है ना, वी डोंट गो टू द होटल, रीड द मेनू कार्ड, हाँ हो गया करके बिल पे करके आ जाओ, हो गया मैंने मेनू कार्ड पढ़ लिया और मेरा खाना हो गया, या मुंह से बोल दिया आइटम लड्डू, मुंह में आ गया क्या लड्डू, पानी आता है, लड्डू नहीं आता है कि नहीं. एंड वी डोंट सी इन द क्रिएशन that by uttering the food's name, that food is consumed and that hunger is satiated. So Vani, in the same way, all Indriyas try with their own Indriya Shakti to consume the food. All of them fail. And as we touched yesterday this topic, tomorrow we'll talk a little more on it. That Bhagwan has made that food in such a way that they cannot be and they need not be consumed by any of the Indriya Devatas independently. Then that food is consumed by some other thing other than this. And when that consumes, everyone gets it. Every of this. That speciality भगवान पुट, उसके लिए उस भगवान के महिमा के लिए हमें ताली बजाना चाहिए. Everywhere it is, like in the car or scooter, in the tank we put the petrol. We don't put the petrol in every of the bearing सब, उसमें डालते हैं. But does it not go to everything else? Is it not? So the electricity also, we put it that, but it will spread into all the filament of the bulb, whole bulb glows there. और the entire whatever the electrical equipment are, सब में वो जाकर वो पूरा उस equipment को काम कर, लाइक मिक्सर है, ग्राइंडर मिक्सर. सो उसमें उतने पार्ट्स होते हैं, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी वो हमारा रखा हमने, वो अपने आप पहुंच गया और सारा वो काम हो रहा है. यू डोंट कनेक्ट एवरीवेयर देयर, वो ऑटोमेटिक. Like you water the roots of a tree, हो गया. You don't water the trunk and the branches, और एक एक पत्ते को दो दो बूंद पानी डाल रहे, ऐसा नहीं होता वो. Is it not? In the same way, he made a technique that through one means the food is taken, but that is enough. Be attentive. For giving nourishment to all the indriyas, trupti to all indriyas, the removal of hunger, and the energy for them to function also. For this only we should give that Padma Bhushan or Bharata Ratna or Nobel Prize to the Lord. All these thoughts we will discuss tomorrow. And why we are doing all this? Because it is said in the Upanishad. And why Upanishad said all this? First, to know exactly what's happening in the world. Second, through that happenings, know the presence of the God. Our purpose is not कौन सा खाना आया, कौन सा देह में, कौन से शरीर के भाग में, कौन सा इंद्रिय अधिष्ठान देवता है. These are all not our goals. Our goal is to see the Parabrahma Paramatma through all of them. Thereafter, dropping all of them, experience Parabrahma Paramatma as ourselves. For that, this Upanishad is following this Paddhati of explaining the creation, explaining the individualities, explaining the Indriyas functioning, but in and through that, the vision of the Paramatma, Drushti of Paramatma we have to have. And then finally to see Paramatma, drop all of them. Then that Paramatma is experienced as ourselves. वो कैसा होगा वो आगे वाले खंडों में हम धीरे धीरे ही इसी तरह पढ़ेंगे. ओम 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 पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो परमर्षिभ्यो परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे नमः तत्सत् ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. Thank you friends for your patient listening. As we proceed further, repeating like today every day, the clarity starts coming. This is the way Upanishad can be done adhyanam by you and I, especially me who is at a very dull level of intellect, forgetfulness, extrovertedness, no seriousness, no sincerity, extreme स्थूलता. ऐसे मेरे जैसे लोगों के लिए बार बार पढ़ने से धीरे धीरे बात समझ में आएगा. But for you, the experts, highly intelligent, sharp, subtle, intellectual people, single pointed, एक बार सुन लिया सारा ज्ञान खुला. मैं तो उससे नहीं हूँ, तो मुझे धीरे धीरे जाना पड़ता है ना. इन दिस वे ओनली वी स्टडी. ओम ओम. पहले 4-5 राउंड ऐसे ही होता है. एनी वर्क लाइक फर्स्ट फ्यू डेज ऑफ मेकिंग चपाती, हाउ डिफिकल्ट इट इज. कितना पानी डालना भी नहीं पता. ज़्यादा पानी डाल दे तो चिपक चिपक, या कम डाल दी तो इतना वो सॉलिड होता है, यू कांट बेलो. ओनली आफ्टर सम डेज हाउ टू गूंद द आटा इज नोन. देयर आफ्टर वाइल पुटिंग ऑन दैट चकला एंड वेलना, नो पता ही नहीं कि आटा लगाना पड़ेगा नहीं तो चिपक जाएगा, या तेल लगाओ. सो व्हेन यू डू इट, पहले तो इट विल बी इन एवरी साउथ अफ्रीका शेप में आता है वो. ओनली आफ्टर फ्यू मंथ्स you can make it a Chandamama or Bhumata shape. Is it not? Then the thickness of it, thinness of it, size of it, roundness of it. Well, when you pakao it on the tawa, different ways it is. A perfect roti is a process only. एग्जैक्टली वो अंदर बाहर पकना है, जलना भी नहीं. जलेगा तो टेस्ट कड़वा होगा, नहीं पकेगा तो हजम नहीं होगा. सिंपल रोटी बट इट हैज इट्स ओन परफेक्शन ऑफ मेकिंग. फिर घी लगाओ या तेल लगाओ या मक्खन लगाओ, कितना लगाए. You can't have what the sabji with which you are eating, depending on that घी तेल मक्खन होता है. You gonna accidentally eat just like that. चलता है, भगवान अंदर बैठकर सब हजम कर रहे हैं, इसलिए उनकी कृपा से सब चल रहा है. But actually, when it comes to the discussion of perfection, there's so many things to be taken into account. I'm just telling. In the same way, repeatedly when we study Vedanta, little by little only, the dwara khulta hai to anyone. Nobody became master of all understandings, all convictions, all sadhanas, all experiences overnight at one go. Everybody has spent so many lives, many, depending on what do they, where do they stay. Again, you and I also at this level of in this life only started studying the Upanishads. So continuously करने से वो मेच्योरिटी आएगा जिससे हम बात समझना शुरू. ये होने के बाद फॉर फ्यू लाइव्स लुक एट द उपनिषद मंत्र, यू नो इट. इनफैक्ट इवन द उपनिषद मंत्र का भी जरूरत नहीं होगा. यू आर ऑलवेज इन द ट्रुथ, बिकॉज उपनिषद पर्पस इज टू फोकस अस अवरसेल्व्स ऑन द ट्रुथ ओनली. तो हमेशा जो सत्वस्तु में है उनको मंत्रों का भी माध्यम की जरूरत. हाँ, टू टीच अदर्स ही नीड्स देम. So may we all this way understand and slowly, steadily grow in these subtle understandings and sadhanas to reach the siddhi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om